if you want me to, if you want me to.
Yes, 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 yes. More, more. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the West African Pro League brought to you by 3 Crowns Esports. And it is still me, your main man Priest. I'm just giving you guys the smooth introductories. Unfortunately, we didn't have a stream for you guys yesterday, but I would love to announce that Afro Esports, 03 Brothers, and Invictus did make it into the finals following yesterday's games. But today we are going to be replacing those 3 teams with a brand new set of teams, and I'm talking about Team Apex, 21st Century, Cyclone Shield Esports. Those are the teams that are now in the cut, and they are also going to be looking for the opportunity to make it into the last chance qualifier that that's going to round up tomorrow. The top 10 teams will be joining the rest of those 6 teams to give you guys your finalists for the WAPL. But without further ado, we've got we're going to have our 16 teams in the lobby tonight, and our first or rather our last chance for those teams to make it into the finals. It is so tricky because there's a bunch of teams that have been playing since Monday, guys. They've been playing since Monday. And why are they playing? So that they can get into the finals, and the finals is going to be very, very crazy. But they are still playing for that money, 3,500 USD worth of money. Junior League did give it the first to third place teams, sweet money right there, and the participation bonus to all participating teams, all participating organizations, and I'm always going to be commending 3 Crown Esports for giving us that as well. But let's not forget about the senior league, where the big bucks is at 600 USD for that first place finish, and that's the big money right there. At least I know what that's going to do for me. So hopefully, I know what that's going to do for a whole lot of these teams as well. Well, I am super stoked though. A whole lot of these teams have been practicing, planning on how they're going to make it into the finals. And I've been talking about, a whole lot of teams that have been playing since Monday, man. Since the first day of the junior league and the senior league, rather the first day of the senior league actually. Been playing since Monday. Then Tuesday we had the guys from Fugitives Esports qualify, and Invictus was right behind them. Just a few points right behind him. Then a new set of teams came in. We saw the guys from Royal Academy join in the fold with the Sidizens, and then we had yesterday the guys from Invictus finally making it by the skin of their teeth. It was just a 1-point difference, and the guys from Invictus did make it in as well. And then Afro Esports as well, also been hustling from day one, and they did finally make it. You know, big shout out to Disparaged as well. They also tried their absolute best, you know, to make it into the finals. They were just 1 point behind Invictus, so you can see the guys from Harsh Esports already getting their hands dirty there against the guys from Disparaged. Shin is behind. Might just be the one to play a little bit of a cover and a little bit of spoiler. You can see Chaos there, but the confirmation on Dishonest is going to come through. Harsh Esports already on the upper hand here, getting themselves those very, very crucial points, because right now it is the top 10 teams that will be going to that final, and you do not want to be in 11th place, that is for sure. But now Chaos has been spotted, shot sent his way, he has to fall all the way back to recuperate with his teammates. You can see Amar is going to be rotating on the left-hand side there, just trying to wreak a little bit of havoc towards the guys from Disparate. This is not the way they want to start today at all. But Shin isn't going to be letting this one slide. I don't know if he's aware of Amar's position on that left-hand corner. And he might just be spotted the moment he continues to make all of these moves. Amar can get him from that left, and he is going to get him immediately. Beautiful spray coming in from Amar there. And now Shin has to be on his guard. But fortunately for him, the rest of the players for Harsh Esports, MSK on the right there, isn't going to be spotting him just yet. But Chaos, now is the opportunity for them to, you know, to box him, to box Amar out on that left-hand side. The moment he peeks his head out, he should be eliminated though, because he's the only player there. He's a solo, he's trying to play the free man role. You know, and Harsh Esports have been having a go at it lately. You know, they've been playing since Monday as well, struggling really, really hard, but they are doing their absolute best so far. And again, it is one of those things I'm talking about, you know, all these teams, all these players is doing their absolute best to put some distance between them and the rest of their opponents, you know. I mean, who doesn't want to play for all that money? Chaos has been spotted by Amar. Amar jumps into the water once again. The rest of the team for Harsh Esports are still going to be trying their best to navigate, you know, to navigate all through those areas there. But again, they are creeping ever so slightly. It is a 4 versus 3. Amar still is going to be playing that right-hand side. And now Chaos is still in the building there, but Shin is going to be playing behind him. And Amar does have that DBS in hand, so you know that he's ready for any violence that comes through. For Harsh Esports, they need more. They need so much more. They need, you know, accountability. They need to not bottle this one at all. But Amar is not going to be making any further engagements, because the moment he pops outside, Chaos will spot him and definitely put him in the ground. Again, he pops out. Might just use the opportunity to bait Chaos there. In the long run, you know, Disparaged, they did have a fantastic performance yesterday. Just unfortunate that we couldn't, you guys couldn't witness it, but they did have an amazing game yesterday. They had 2 back-to-back chicken dinners, you know, and they finished ahead of Afro Esports in both times. It was insane, you know, especially the Vikendi game. It was insane to watch. Somehow Amar has made it onto the shore, and he might just be spotted there. Chaos has a beautiful position. Amar has to be careful though. The moment he comes outside, he will be seen. Surely he will be spotted by Chaos. And Disparaged might just be getting that trade for themselves. Goth eSports pulling up to the scene there as well. It looks like this might just be a 3-way the moment the bullets start to ring. But Amar is going to be boxing himself in and getting a little bit of an angle there. Again, he pops outside. Oh, Chaos is going to be spotted. But Amar has been seen as well. A couple of shots are going to be sent to his way. He's down to about 1 HP, but fortunately, he gets out of dodge just in time. Shin is going to be playing in front of him there. Now the guys from Disparaged are in trouble. MSK getting a raid knocked down, and it's all left to Shin. It is a 4 versus 1 surely at this point, and they are in danger here. Beautiful grenade sent towards Shin there. Shin sends a couple of shots back, but now he is going to be overwhelmed and occupied. Bullets, grenades, and all sorts are already coming in his general direction. Surely he will be called out there by Torrid, and he is. Disparaged, sent back into the lobby in grand style, courtesy of MSK and Torrid, sharing 2 eliminations apiece. eSports not starting this at all. They're not starting. They did not start in the right way. But the bridge there, Goth eSports, they did abandon their last player. I believe that is General left him to bleed out on the bridge, as the guys from 21st Century are going to be navigating inside. 21st Century finally in the WAPL Senior League. They did have a fantastic performance in the Junior League, and now here is the time you have them, you know. Now Goth eSports sacrificing one of their players. You can see the players are just a little bit giving a little bit of Western, just a little bit of a Western vibe there. Unfortunately, you know. But then there's so much at stake here, you know. The guys from Goth eSports, General, still bleeding out. I don't know if he's AFK or if his teammates felt, you know, that revive was not going to be necessary. I have no idea, but I'm equally up to the task. I'm equally up to the task, you know. Honore G Sports coming in as a three-man team, DG Armani and Top C. I don't know why, but they are one of those teams that are on the bottom part of the spectrum right now. They need a significant performance if they want to make it into that final, because so far they've been very, very mediocre. They've been hanging around there, just surviving. You know, equally the guys from Fowlplay, very, very close in the beginning of the Senior League, but they did get overwhelmed as the games continued to go on. Also a three-man team, got Shy, Lone Wolf, and PlayStation 5. They are going to be playing in from that southwestern area, trying to rotate inside of the play zone right now. And you can see we are playing a little bit slow, a little bit soft. There's a whole lot that it's going to take a whole lot actually to, you know, eliminate all of these teams one after the other, because nobody wants to get eliminated very quickly. But potential 3 versus 3 here on that western edge. You guys from Fowlplay and Goth eSports, I do believe that they know that Goth eSports is going to be hanging around these parts, but you can see Apex hops into his buggy there just to get a better position, move out of dodge. I think they are going to be occupying that building just there. I'll just be holding this one out very soon. And Goth eSports, another team that did have a fantastic performance in the first set of days, and hopefully they would be able to do just enough to get themselves into the finals. And here I am with my main man, Fire. Fire,
what's up? How's it going? Hope I haven't missed much action so far, because, you know, yeah, I was rushing home to make sure that, you know, I catch this. You know, but I see Apex on board. Okay, I see a couple of new guys, so I'm assuming that Apex is running wild.
No, it's not. It's a little bit too early. You know, it's phase 2 of the circle. You know, I think they've got their eyes onto the guys from Goth eSports based on the fact that Apex is going to be rotating just.
All right, Bruce. All right, guys. So taking a look at the game right now, we've still got about 15 teams left on board right here. I'm not sure if you guys can hear Priest. I mean, I can't for now, but maybe that's some technical difficulty. I would check to see if something is going on. Rolas, just indicate to me if Priest is talking, so that we're not talking, you know, on each other. Just making sure that that is the case. All right, so I'll be opening up my device to turn on to the stream, just so that I can make sure that everything is quite cool. But anyways, taking a look at what we see so far, it does look like Apex is beginning to get into the action right there, as they've gotten one kill for themselves. You can see the boy Blessing and Kage just moving around. They are on the hunt right now. They're taking a look at the boys from Goth eSports. It is Z and his boys right there, you know, in those buildings. And we all know that Habe is very good at holding a really nice defensive position. We'll see how that one actually does work out right there. It does look like Priest is having some technical difficulty, so we'll just wait on so far while I just go through the games that we have on board with us. The boys from Fowlplay coming into this game with a three-man squad. It is Shaq, PlayStation, and Lone Wolf also around this defensive position, not too far away from the boys right there from Apex, and they're looking to rotate into the zone as soon as they can. You can already see them beginning to get into a position for a skirmish right there as PlayStation does go down. Shirk is left to defend his team in that position, and be curious to see if he can get a revive just before the boys from Apex push on. But we do know that in situations like this, they are very quick to get on ground and take on the rest of the players. But it does look like they may just be able to get into a fight, while Lone Wolf is sort of in a distracting move right there. Lone Wolf gets one knock, he turns into the two, he's able to defend them and do it quite well, as he does get another knock right there. So it's Lone Wolf being the absolute baddie in this position right here, as he does get two knocks for his teammates in this particular one. Now Wizard is coming on board in the scene, and all Lone Wolf has done enough work for me. Now his teammates have got to get into the fight. They've got to get into the scene and provide the support that he does really need. Wizard is on ground with him. Can he get another knock onto yet another player right there for Fowlplay? He is being absolutely careful because he's not sure of that position that Wizard has. He throws in a molly into that position, but he's got to make a move. He's got to make a move, and he's got to do it right now. But here comes the stump, and this is what you don't want in situations like this, because all of a sudden it looked like they were in the front foot. But now Apex is going to be getting those revives, and it's down to the Shake to somehow hold them on. Could they have played this better? Was there another way to go about taking on this fight? It doesn't look like it, and now the boys from Apex have won this one, and they didn't even lose any player to the boys from Fowlplay. Great gameplay coming in from, you know, that player right there, Fowlplay, but somehow they lost that fight. Man, my goodness, I wish you saw that, Priest. That was absolutely outstanding.
Ooh, I definitely did wish I saw that, but unfortunately, my internet is being my biggest enemy right now, but I think I've been able to sort it. So what did I just miss? I saw something happen in a flicker right there.
Man, it was absolutely outstanding. I think it was a Fowlplay Lone Wolf who got two knocks onto the boys from Apex. Now, his teammates could have supported him and helped him a lot better in that particular fight, but for some reason, they were occupied quite well with one of the players from Apex. Now, Wizard then came in to get the revives, but I feel like Lone Wolf could have pushed Wizard and taken down Wizard, and now it's left with just one Apex player, and there would have been three Fowlplay players versus you know, the last Apex player. But for some reason he didn't push. He waited until it was too late. They had gotten the revives on, and they just pushed him and got him knocked down, and then all of a sudden it was just, you know, the full Apex team versus the last player for Fowlplay. So I feel like they bottled that one a bit. They probably could have played it better. All right, Bruce.
I don't know if you can hear me though. I have no idea.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I'm still trying to sort out a little bit of these technicalities that are happening on my end. Unfortunately, that is the Nigerian internet for you. But
yeah.
What are the odds that Team Apex doesn't qualify though? I mean, what if everyone in the lobby is out to get them? You know, send them back. I mean,
I mean, if that was the case, then they would have, you know, probably Fowlplay would have made a better push or a more aggressive push in that one. But I don't think that it is a thing of how to get them, but maybe teams will be a bit more cautious or a bit more brave up against them. But now turning the sides onto the boys from Active Gaming, who do lose one of the players. They lose Nez. And coming up against the boys from Solo right there, Active Gaming now losing the second player. You can see the boys from Solo just holding very unique positions in those buildings right there, making it absolutely uncomfortable for the boys right there for Active Gaming. And Hope comes into the situation as well, and then he is dropped down too. So it will be the end of the boys from Active Gaming as they do go out to the boys from Solo, who held very, very unique positions. We call that smart gameplay. Some people would say it's camping, but I mean, that was definitely surprising for the boys who are active.
I would definitely not call that camping. Yeah, I would call that tactical waiting.
Yes.
Solo esports were just tactically waiting for any ops that pulled up to that scene, and they played that to perfection. I mean, the Spider-Man strategy, you see it every time. Actually, you don't see it every time. I had no idea what was going to happen there, but then again, I would blame the guys from Active Gaming and for poor communication there. Ooh, Josh Star is going to try his best again, and he gets another knock, and Team Apex once again in serious danger. Starlight getting confirmed. Extreme Violence actually putting the violence towards the guys from Team Apex. They are now down to Blessing, and he's hanging just a little bit by the edge of the circle there. Is going to chuck the grenade towards Choco, but Choco is not going to move a single muscle there, waiting for the rest of his teammates to recuperate. But Blessing has to be the wiser and get out of dodge. Team Apex just living to fight another day. If Blessing can actually make this escape without getting spotted, again, but he's been spotted. The bullets starting to send towards his buggy there. Cut all the way down, and is he going to make it out in time? No, he's been spotted. Surely he's going back into the lobby. Surely he has to go, but somehow he survives a little bit longer.
Oh my goodness, what a time around the lobby. Now we turn on the sides of the boys from First Actor, so coming up against the boys from the Hash, and you can see nades already beginning to fly as Arsimi is trying as much as possible to hold it down for his team, alongside with his boy there, Ragbone. And you can see the push coming in right there from one. He does get the knock, puts him down to the ground, gets the elimination, and he is putting in the work for his team right here. He's got about 2 other Hash players to deal with. Can he actually get the squad wipe on this one? It goes round, but it would not be enough as the boys from Hash do seal that one and take them out. Also right there on the kill feed, you can also see that the boys of Apex have also now been sent back into the lobby.
Ooh. Well, they did go out there swinging 4 eliminations to Team Apex, but fantastic defensive position coming in from Harsh Esports as they do get 10 eliminations. MSK and Torrid doing the absolute most for the guys from Harsh Esports. And here comes Solo also pulling up to the scene. Again, 21st Century is going to be a thorn in their side. Samurai rotating left, right, and center, but it's not going to save him as Roy is there to confirm him. Solo Esports equally sent out, and 21st Century claim yet more points.
Oh, what a game so far. So we can now begin to see the shots being let loose. The boys from Harsh have one player who is currently down. They're coming up against the boys from MOP. They have a good position. We've spoken about this several different times. Sometimes you get into that center position and now you become meat for so many different teams who are circling around you. And that's exactly what is happening to the boys from Harsh right there. As the boys from MOB are just on their tail. They're holding a very split angle. And what you got to say about this, position that MOB has, Priest, it does look like a very smart, spread.
Yeah, I would definitely call it a smart spread. That is what I would call it, But then again, spreading too thin, and you are going to be punished. Amar, Sports Creed right there, drops him immediately. And now the guys from Harsh Esports might just use this opportunity to force the guys from Men of Blood all the way back. Torrid sees 11, just hiding behind the rock there. The moment 11 peeks his head, I'm sure that Torrid is ready. They're trying to blow up his vehicle to render it unusable, just to make it difficult for him to get out of that position. Beautiful play coming from the guys from Harsh Esports. They are very, very comfortable and very ready to take these engagements, but here comes the guys from Most Wanted, the last player. Lily is trying to take on Habitual Gaming, but they are going to be squeezing him out. He's been spotted, and again the smoke grenade is going to be used there just to hide a little bit of an idea of where he is from the rest of those teams that are behind him. But Habitual Gaming are still very, very comfortable here, and here comes the sweeping play. They're going to be driving around just to catch him off guard if he decides to go prone there. Habitual Gaming still going to use this opportunity opportunity though to hang out a little bit longer, but the play zone starting to squeeze all these teams. They need to move out of dodge, and Habitual Gaming might just get caught out here by this last player from Most Wanted.
All right, he's pretty much just looking for a scapegoat right now. It is Shad, the boy, who's currently low, and he's in a lot of trouble because the zone's also doing a lot of damage. But I do believe he's been able to get that revive on this particular one. He hops into his vehicle, and Lilies is looking for it right about this one. But he does not connect his shots onto Shad, but he's gotten a knock onto Dead Fury, and will definitely be reducing the numbers for the boys from Habitual Gaming. But somehow Shad's been able to get himself into that zone. But with so many different players around him, I am predicting that he's maybe most likely going to get spotted and taken down.
Shad doing a bang up job actually, rotating inside of the play zone. They're leaving the guys from Habitual Gaming, but like you said, he's been spotted by No Rage Esports. Beautiful grenade from Amani there is going to connect, and No Rage Esports again doing a fantastic job of surviving a little bit longer than the rest of these teams. But again, the guys from 21st Century have a beautiful position on top of the hill. They are overlooking almost every single team. They have an idea of what they are trying to play. The left hand side is choked up there. Goth eSports still trying to maintain an area there. The north position, Ziggy, just hiding behind the buggy there. He's been spotted, surely. They know he's there. All they have to do is wait him out. But Habitual Gaming going out there in 8th place. I don't know. They got 4 eliminations, so that is going to give them just enough points to put something on the board. Along with other teams that did manage to get those eliminations, the same number of eliminations with them. But Extreme Violence, they have 5. And now again, he's going to be run over. What a way to run somebody over. So much violence in that push. So much violence, so much. It looked so rough. It looked so rough, man.
Wow. I mean, did he take your babe? Did he take your sweet, your dodo? What happened? Like, how did he offend you? That was absolutely disrespectful, man. He had it in for him, definitely. All right, about some Vibe Gaming coming into the mix right there, as they do get another knock right there and send the team packing. Now we also see the boys from Goth eSports also getting taken out, but 21 Century Crexer, who got a knock right there, has also been sent back into the lobby, leaving just 2 people to battle it out for the boys. So 21 Century's Rowie and the boy Baby right there. 21 Century doing quite well for themselves as they're up with 2 members of their squad left in this one, and it's a 2v2v2 situation, so they don't got to worry about the numbers. They're pretty much even. If they can take out that player from Harsh right there, they will reduce the numbers to a 2v2v1. But look at the amount of kills that Harsh are currently sitting with. 14 kills to their name so far, Priest.
Ooh, Harsh Esports have been putting in the work, after the first engagement they had against guys from Disparaged all the way out there in Ferry Pier. They've been gliding ever since, and they've continued to glide, eliminating teams as they come across them, playing from compound to compound, because that is their style. They're a very, very compound-centric team. They do not necessarily love to play the terrain like teams like 21st Century or Team Apex, and you love to see it when it works out. When it works out, it's so fantastic. That's a beautiful grenade from Baby to Baby, because I guess that's what we are doing now. We are giving ourselves grenades. 21st Century on the back end. Unfortunately, now the revive has to come through, and I believe Roy is going to give away his position. But fortunately, the smoke is going to be coming out just right on time. But Amar knows what's going on there if he paid attention to the feed, and now it might just be the opportunity for the guys from Harsh Esports to steal something. And a beautiful grenade comes through again. Might just spot Baby and confirm a couple of shots in from Amar. Yes. Works the angle perfectly there. Amar is going to eliminate one of the players from 21st Century, giving them the upper hand once again. But here comes Vibe. Vibe have been chilling the entire time, waiting. They have a little bit of an angle to work with, but the players are already starting to deal damage to them. Iceman, the next one to go down. Bougie has to be spotted, surely. He's been seen by Amar. Step back into the lobby, and that's a 2 versus 1. Harsh Soldier, 16 eliminations. It looks like they might just be going for 17 because it's a 2 versus 1. But Roy is too OP. He might just be able to take this 2 versus 1, but they're spreading left and right. Torrey to the left, Amar to the right. The guys from 21st Century, they're all depending on Roy here. Is he going to cook? Is he going to cook? The guys from Habitual Gaming, Harsh Esports rather. I'm not sure, but another grenade, and another grenade, and another grenade. Another grenade. Grenade after grenade. Fire. Grenade after grenade.
It's an Osama event right there coming in for the boys from Harsh as they do continue their onslaught. Absolutely amazing stuff coming in from the boys from Harsh as they do get themselves 17 kills in that particular one. And I don't know. Did you see that coming?
Man, in the previous games that we saw yesterday, I saw the guys from Arch Esports. They were struggling yesterday. I saw them struggling a lot yesterday. But unfortunately there was no stream. But I saw them struggling and I saw that yesterday they were doing a whole lot of practicing. A whole lot of strategizing. If you watch them yesterday in yesterday's games, they were doing a whole lot of practice, hopping from compound to compound and playing the splits, 3-1, and you'd see Torrid and Amar play off of each other. So I saw a lot of that today as well, and that was very, very impressive to watch because I saw it yesterday. They were trying to perfect it, trying to understand the dynamic of how it was going to work in, tough situations. Unfortunately, you missed the first engagement between them and Disparaged, and they put Disparaged on their backs immediately. It was absolutely fantastic to watch. So Harsh Esports, and after that first engagement, the sky's the limit from there. Definitely, sky is the limit from there.
And absolutely amazing stuff coming in from the boys from Harsh Esports as they were able to get a whole bunch of eliminations. But looking at a man right there, Torrid, as he got 7 to himself alone, even providing 3 assists along the way. Lovely stuff for him as he got more than 1,236 damage in this particular game. Lovely stuff from Harsh Esports. We're able to gather so many points in that particular game, getting about 27 points, and that's what you want to do if you want to be climbing up on that leaderboard, getting to make sure that you can qualify. And do you think they've done enough, Priest, or they still need to put up more performances like this today?
Yeah. This is just the first game, and we still got tomorrow. Still got tomorrow to play, So yes, they need more of this. They absolutely need more of this. 17 eliminations and a chicken dinner to boot. I mean, that is fantastic. 21st Century equally doing a great job, coming in there with at least 8 eliminations. Unfortunately, they didn't get a double digit. Double digits are the order of the game. If you can squeeze double digits left, right, and center, it is going to favor you in the long run. I've seen it play out so much, in the senior league. Double-digit teams, consistent double-digit teams always do the best job right there. 21st Century Team Apex, and Vibe Gaming, all of these teams that did manage to put some significant damage on the board, but Harsh Soldiers were just that much better. And again, the graph is going to show you that for a fact. I mean, take a look at the domination coming in from Harsh Esports. Fantastic play coming in from them. 21st Century Team Apex, Vibe, and Team Extreme. All of these teams put very, very good numbers up. You can see like half of all the way from Most Wanted down to Active Gaming, 1 elimination to nothing. So that is significantly higher on the spectrum for these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of work to do for the bottom half of the entire table, as they will be looking to get more of those points from the boys from Fowlplay, Disparaged, and Active Gaming. That obviously doesn't tell the entire story. So you see guys who like Fowlplay got into a lot of fight, and it's quite harsh to see them with no points, considering, the amount of work that they put in that fight coming up against Apex. But we'll see how all that, continues to build up as we move on to the next couple of games of the day. For now, we'll be taking a quick break and we'll be right back for some more action.
Welcome back to the WAPL. And we saw a fantastic performance coming in from the guys from Harsh Esports in that last game. They got like 17 eliminations, and that is the way you want to start if you want to play with the big dogs. If you want to get into the finals, you will need to be dropping points just like that. And Harsh Esports have already gotten the memo, and they're already doing it the way they should be doing it. Team Apex did get stopped out, but not without eliminating a full squad, getting themselves 4 points on the board. So you know for a fact they didn't come to play. So Team Apex might just use this opportunity, to build onto the existing knowledge of what they've already accomplished in the last game. So ladies and gentlemen, it is the West African Pro League. Game 2 of the last chance qualifiers day fire.
Absolutely. But before we get into that, there's this conversation that I want us to have, right? There's this notion that a player cannot get good overnight. What do you think about that? Can a player not get good overnight? Okay, we'll talk about that just immediately after this particular fight, coming up against the boys from Active Gaming, having a tough time again, as they do have 2 players currently knocked down. They're coming up against the boys from Most Wanted right there. You can see Skinny has now been thirsted, and it's just left with 2 players right there for the boys from Active Gaming. Hope is currently down, and you can see them pushing onto this position right here. Surge trying as much as possible to evade their shots. He gets into a good angle. He takes Fat Boy down, turns to the other end, but it's not enough, as the boys right there from Most Wanted will be sending the boys from Active Gaming out right here quite early. And what a day for Active Gaming, as they do go out quite early again.
Active Gaming not starting off on the best of feet right now. Again, Cam Bravo, I don't know why, but, it's still part of that thing we always talk about, Fowlplay Solo Esports, Fowlplay Fugitive Esports, Fowlplay Habitual Gaming, those teams that tend to love to land on each other's positions. I've seen the guys from Most Wanted and Active Gaming go at it in Cam Bravo before, and it didn't turn out nicely for the guys from Active. But again, it is a risk to reward scenario. What you're doing right now, do you like it? Is it, do you want to take the risk? Do you want to enjoy, do you want to get those 4 points very, very quickly? And that's just what it is, But the guys from Active, unfortunately for them, they fell a little bit short. But this is not what you want. You need a lot of points, to guarantee yourself that top 10. And 2 games down, Active Gaming have failed to deliver. They failed to turn up. But, we've got 2 games left. There's still chance. There's still a lot to do. But, the more you do badly, the better other teams will do.
Is today the last day for teams to qualify?
No, I think it's going to be tomorrow,
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's always risk when you do decide to land with another team. Yesterday, the boss from Active landed in that position, and I do believe it was Skinny who got the squad wipe onto the boss from Most Wanted. So obviously they've been battling that out for quite a while. But I'm of the opinion, that you shouldn't be taking risk like that, especially when you're looking to qualify. From a table. But regardless, there's this notion and there's this argument, because I saw it somewhere. I think it was in the chat. And there's this notion that a player, if you deem a player not to be good, he cannot improve all of a sudden. Do you share that same sentiment, Priest?
In retrospect, a player being good is very, very relative. Like, what is the definition of a good player? Are we talking about good as in good player, or cracked player, or a player that is consistent every single game? You know, in my definition, what is a good player? A good player is someone like in DX right now from Solo Esports as he gets Apex knocked all the way down. Yelena, he's trying to get an angle on him, and again, a beautiful play coming in from the guys from Solo Esports. Again, another one goes down. Goth Esports in serious trouble. They've lost 2. And General and Ziggy, the last 2 up for the guys from Goth Esports. Solo Esports nailing them down one after the other. And that is what we're talking about. You know, how good can a player be? What is the benchmark? What is, you know, good enough? You know, I do remember watching the NPL yesterday, and I saw Sheck West, you know, get a 1 versus 4 against the guys from Cyclone Shield. And now you see, it's not even any team; it is Cyclone Shield. You know, so now that's the question: how good is Sheck West? You know, but you've been in the industry a long time. You know who Sheck West is. You know. Would you say he became good overnight, or is it because he hasn't been in the scene?
I mean, I would say that Shekwas is someone who, I mean, he has grown. He has played at some points at the highest level within the sub-Saharan African, you know, scene, which was the Mzanze at the time, and he's battled against, you know, some of the biggest teams like BJE, you know, some of the teams that 4KT. He's battled against them for a very long time, and he was there at the top level. So a player like that is not going to come back and just be all of a sudden be, you know, start learning from the scratch. He will obviously have some things like, you know, gun, maybe his, you know, sensitivity would not be quite that great, but obviously the game sense will still be there. He would still know how to rotate. He would still know how to, you know, use cover to his advantage. You know, the very basic things about the game and how to get a few knocks here and there will still be in place. So just a little bit of training here and there, and, you know, he'll be back to that top form. So it's no surprise to see him, you know, coming into the MPL and being able to perform quite that well. But there's also this sentiment, and I saw it somewhere, and obviously people reading in the charts will know where this is coming from, because this came from the chart right there, that, you know, a player can, like, if I think a player is not good enough, right, that player can never be good enough. And I don't share that sentiment, Chris, because my own opinion is, for you to be at this level, right, at this level, in a team like Harsh Esports, be selected to play against teams like CLS, teams like Apex, maybe somehow things have been going wrong for you, like it's going wrong for Active Gaming right now, and you get knocked down here and there, but it doesn't still mean that you're not a good player. Like, for example, few people may see Hope and say, Hope is, you know, it's not that good. He got knocked down, or Skinny. And then tomorrow, you see Skinny do a squad wipe and you say, oh, that's not Skinny. Definitely is not Skinny. So I don't share that opinion, but what do you think about that?
Well, you know, it really boils down to the particular event or particular tournament that, you know, this particular player is in. Now, we've been watching the WAPL for the better part of 3 weeks, you know, going to a month right now, you know, and we've been seeing, you know, from stage to stage, the qualifier stage, the junior league, you know, and now we are here in the senior league, you know, all of this time. And now we've watched all of these players, and we've gauged, you know, a lot of their abilities. You know, we've seen a lot while we've been here, you know, and then the play style that most of these players, you know, adopt to is very, very dependent on what kind of play style the team generally has. You know, now Active Gaming, for example, you know, based off of what I've watched, Active Gaming is not a one-player team. You know, there is no single player in Active Gaming that you would say does a bulk of the work. You know, but I could say the same, you know, for a team like Afro eSports right now. And in Afro eSports, I'm not even going to pretend Peachy does most of the heavy lifting for Afro eSports. You can't even deny that one. You know, you would be just, you know, it would be incredulous to deny it, you know. But then in a team like Active Gaming, you know, you wouldn't see Skinny or Hope or whoever, you know, do all of the work You know, the Active Gaming is heavily team-based. You could see that in the last game when they got called out by the guys from Solo Esports, it was poor communication, you know, on their part, because somebody is eliminated you from hanging on the roof right there, you know, and you didn't tell your teammates. Your teammates rushed in, got eliminated the exact same way, just within a split second. Poor communication, surely, you know, there. And now, if that is not, you know, team errors and mistakes that you tend to see, it is still part of those things. You know, 21st Century is also one of those teams, equally fantastic. You can see Baby there just using the terrain and a beautiful position coming in again, and Most Wanted losing yet another player. It is Fox to go down this time. Quexa is going to be rotating around, just trying to find somewhere to be safe. But that is a danger here, you know. 21st Century are caught between a rock and a hard place. They've got Most Wanted north of their position and the guys from First Arctics, you know, south as well. They are in a sandwich right now, and it's not looking too nice for them.
What a position to be in, the boys from Most Wanted, as they are in between two very strong, deadly teams. If you want to be in between any team, you don't want to be getting surrounded by the boys from 21st Century, but they're putting up a really good fight as they do take down a couple of players right there for 21st Century. And once again, 21st Century, one of the teams that we do hope to be performing quite well in this particular one, losing two players right here. And Most Wanted, are we finally beginning to see them step it up? Because we're seeing them getting the knocks. They've taken out the boys from Active Gaming. They've gotten a couple of kills right here as well. They've taken out two players right there from the boys from 21st Century. It's just a game where they do now begin to rack in those points, Priest.
There's so, you know, there's so many possibilities, you know, for 21st Century right now, but unfortunately they've already lost two players, so, you know, they need to reconvene and set themselves back up again. But you can see Death Fury opens himself up to a little bit of a dangerous position there, but he is going to get the confirmation down to one of the players from Fowlplay. I believe that is PlayStation 5. Lone Wolf is still knocked down, and again, Fowlplay is in a dangerous position. You know, we saw them get in a dangerous position in the last game, you know, when they did get into that fight with the guys from Team Apex. They did get bloodied up from that exchange, and it didn't really pan out well for them. Unfortunately, you know, they walked away from that with 0 points, and that is not what you want to do, you know, in the first day. You know, in every game you do not get points. You know, you have to do significantly better in the next game, you know, because the threshold will increase, you know, the leaderboard will change. Every single game that you make no points, it gets a little bit harder for you to succeed.
Oh, absolutely. You can see right there, Shake trying as much as possible to see if he can get a knock with a third party coming in for the boys from Apex, as Wizard does put him to the ground. We're now taking a look at the zone right here. So it's moving on to that stage 4. You can see several different teams looking for a spot to call their own. There's so much skirmishes going out right there around that edge of the zone where the boys from Apex are currently situated. I do believe one of the players is currently down as well, but what a time, Priest. We still got 15 teams in this one with all the action that we've seen so far, but it's 41 bodies as the boys right there from Most Wanted, where the last player from Most Wanted is up against Rooney. I do believe that Rooney is also the last one for his team.
Yeah, you know, Team Extreme already down to 1 player, but they've managed to squeeze out, you know, 3 eliminations from it. But hopefully, you know, Ronnie is going to be surviving just a little bit longer. Team Apex once again getting caught out. Cut down to 2 players, but Most Wanted doing a fantastic job of getting himself 7 eliminations, and it looks like they do have a plan that is going to be working out for them. But speaking of plans, you know, the guys from Fowlplay getting eliminated early on, very quick again. Now it is very dangerous what is happening to the guys from Fowlplay. It is getting more dangerous by the second. They keep coming in with a 3-man team. You know, it's gonna get worse for them. This is not the lobby you want to play around in, for sure. This is definitely not that lobby. You know for a fact it is a top 10 teams. 6 people will get butchered away. 6. That is a lot of teams getting thrown out of the WAPL fire. 6 teams.
Wow, absolutely a lot to be, you know, getting sent back from the competition. But we'll see how that one actually does go down, because everyone is gearing up right here. You can see that the fighting really tough not to be part of those teams, you know, who will get sent packing home. Taking a look at the lobby right here, you do have the boys from Harsh who are currently sitting outside the zone. All right, they're making the rotations in right now. And things are beginning to get really spicy. Who is going to grab on this one? The boys almost wanted to sitting down with one player. It is just Lily is right in that one. 21 Century, who lost two players early on, take out the last player from No Rage and sent him packing in 14th place. So right now the zone making a shift with a lot of that zone within the water. And Priest Solo Samurai has a very, very unique position. If you just take a look at it.
Yeah, Solo eSports, they have a lot of work to do, interestingly right now because they're all down to just one player, but then Team Apex have been fighting for their lives so far, but the fighter in their team, Starlight, has been sent back into the lobby. Kage and Blessing just going to be hanging out a little bit in this area. I think I've seen, I don't know if it was in this same WPA, but I think I saw a team climb on top of these rocks here. Just they got a little bit of a sweet position in there. I think anyone who is able to do that right now might just have something on their hands. But you can see Lilith has been rotating so far, just keeps rotating towards the edge there, hang around a little bit by the edge. Playzone starts to move, starts to rotate again, might just be running to the guys from Cyclone Shield. They are, holds up there just outside of Paradise Resort. They've already decided to move, make their moves inside of the play zone, but it's looking like a whole lot of work for them to do to navigate properly this time around. But then again, First Arctics is here as well. Another team, that I do like to look out for. They are, I would call them, before I used to think they were like a one-player team, but now I've seen that, Asimi is now doing a lot of work to put in some action there for the guys from First Arctics. Harsh Esports are in danger once again. That thing that happens when you win a chicken dinner, then the next game, you get thrown out very, very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's just the god of PUBG who's just, making sure that you don't perform as well as you probably can. But now let's turn our sights to the boys from CLS coming up against just the last player, the one player right there, Kage. We do know his capabilities to get into those 1v4 situations. That's exactly why the boys from CLS are not taking any chances. As you can see, Broach does make sure that he gets the confirmation and send them backpacking into the lobby right there. So the boys right there from Harsh also getting eliminated right there in 12th position, and things are now beginning to look spicy. As you can see, everyone is looking for their spot. Somehow, Lily, who's the last player for his team, Most Wanted, has found a spot to call his own, as he's chilling right there in those buildings, hoping not to get spotted.
Surely, he's a solo player. Chances of getting spotted, as a solo player tend to reduce the smaller the play zone gets. But Goth eSports are going to be snuffed out there, going out there in 11th place, and 21st Century, I believe, will be joining them immediately there. And now here comes the guys from First Arctics. It is Manny versus Asimi. This is going to be an interesting 1v1. He peeks again to the right-hand side. Manny is trying to take this one against Asimi there. It is going to be very, very dangerous, though. The play zone is starting to cook. The guys from First Arctics, he's trying to get his health back up. Manny equally as well. And Asimi is going to be hopping a little bit of that corner. They can hear him again, but Asimi's just better with the 1v1s. He drops Manny to the ground immediately. Surely he's not going to get that health up, and he is going to be claimed by the play zone. And beautiful play coming in from Manny just to delay, the guys from First Arctics from coming through. But somehow, 2 knocks and a pinch. But for the guys from Cyclone Shield will be having 4 eliminations to their name. But I don't know if they are going to be getting that revive, onto their last player that just happened to be outside of the play zone.
All right, First Arctics, let's see if they can get back their players up, because they do actually need these numbers to be able to take on the rest of the teams like Disparaged and Vibe Gaming, as well as the boys from Habitual. Habitual also getting into a fight, just speaking about them, with the boys from Vibe Gaming as well. Well, okay, no, actually with MOB, the Vibe Gaming are going up against the boys from Disparaged right here. You can see those names beginning to get loose as our boy teams is looking for that entry knock. The boys from Habitual and CLS also getting into a fight right there, as you can see Manny getting 2 knocks right there onto the boys from Habitual, and we'll see how that one actually goes down. But it does look like CLS has won that fight, not lost any player, or actually lost 1 player who is currently knocked down and sent back into the lobby. That will be Roach. But we still got about 5 teams right here who are currently within that zone. The boys from CLS are trying as much as possible to make their way in. You see Manning going down, on the shots coming in right there for the boys from Disparaged, and everyone is looking for a space within that zone, but it's really difficult as shots are just being let loose left, right corner. The boys right there from Vibe Gaming also getting shot up by the boys from CLS who are trying to make their way into that zone, and Vibe Gaming pushing on to the boys from Disparaged. The third-party shots still coming in as teams goes down right there to Isaac from CLS, and it's really tough at every single corner. You can see them trying to make a push, but also getting third-partied as well.
Ooh, I am loving, I'm always loving the plays coming in from the guys from Disparaged. They do know how to navigate the play zone. I do love to watch them. You can see Shin playing behind. Fantastic stuff coming in from him. He actually finds a way, to deal with the guys from Vibe Gaming. Iceman is going to be knocked down, but unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be panning out for him, but he should, go in there and get that confirmation. The rest of his team is knocked down, and I think he's going to be the last one, but I think the wiser choice would be to head inside of the play zone right now. But the guys from Men of Blood holding up that northern position, they have the best position possible. All they have to do is maintain. But let's not forget about that solo player, and I'm talking about solo esports Samurai. You talked about him earlier. He is going to be the thorn in the side for most of these teams, and now is the opportunity. But I do have to commend the guys from Vibe Gaming. Once again, they've made it into the top 4. It's going to be Bougie. He's rotating from the north-hand side, and again, Shin is behind him, but here comes Samurai riding around looking for the ops. He gets the first one, Creed, to go down, but again the cover fire is going to do the job right there, and that is going to be the end for the guys from Solo Esport. But here comes Bougie making it in time on to the platform that is this island.
Man, what a time. It's very difficult for a lot of teams, but the boys right there, Bougie grabbing himself all the way into that second spot. They've not got a lot of eliminations. As you can see, they're currently sitting now with just 2 of those going up against the boys from MOB right there. 11 of those boys just rotating around looking for that last player. Can he get those 2 eliminations? He does tack them up. He's coming up against Creed. He almost gets the knock onto Creed, but the boys from MOB working as a beautiful team and taking home that winner chicken dinner. So great stuff to them as they do get themselves 5 eliminations as well.
Ooh, Men of Blood. I wouldn't say they did much. I wouldn't say they did too much. They had play zone from beginning to end. The only time they had to struggle was when they had to move from the hill into the water. So, everything really just fell in their lap. That's why they didn't really have a lot of eliminations. They were just picking teams off coming out of boot camp. Teams like Disparaged, Vibe, stragglers. So that's why they got like 5 eliminations, So they need to do a whole lot more, but they are very, very capable, very, very capable team, especially with 11 leading the charge. But, this is not enough. 5 eliminations on the chicken. Nah, man, that's just 15 points, man. I mean, they're not even first place still. Based off of the performance the guys from Harashi Sports had in the last game, that is the kind of performance that will get you something. This performance still puts them within reach. They need to, unless they're going to be performing like this consistently across the board, but then which I know they're capable of, I would be very, very impressed, for the guys from Men of Blood. I mean, Creed is going to be, has been doing a fantastic job. Rage as well with Magic, but 11 has been absolutely fantastic, Cyclone Shield equally getting themselves 8 eliminations. They do have to be, one of the best teams that I've seen today so far. They've been super consistent, in playing around when it comes to Sanok. This is the first game of the day. Second game of the day, based off of the first game, they did very, very good numbers. Damage is across the board in this game, though. Fire. I think everyone puts equal amount of effort in this game, though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, usually what you would expect from a Sanhok game, as several different teams were getting in on the action right there, and you can see it was pretty much evenly distributed. We'll be curious to see what that means for the entire leaderboard, but just taking a look at the damage overall, just like we said, it was pretty much consistent across borders. You can see so many different teams got in on the action right there. Well, we'll see what that continues to mean for the entire leaderboard.
Yeah, Most Wanted, Men of Blood, Habitual Gaming, Disparaged, all of these teams were able to put some significant points on the board again. This is that thing I talked about. This is Royal Academy all over again. It's the same vibe, is giving. Harsh Soldiers still significantly, ahead of the pack based off of that single performance they had in the first game, so based off of how the system works, the plan is to get ridiculous points, ridiculous points, so you can relax. If you win ridiculously, you will relax. You will not have to be under any pressure. Team Apex with 7 points currently, as the leaderboard stands, they are not in the final. They are definitely not in the final. And again, there is a lot of reach, going in from that bubble position, and I'm talking about from solo esports all the way down to Fowlplay and active gaming. All these teams are still within touching distance of each other. Apex 7 points, Goth esports 7 points as well, No Rage 5, First Arctics 3. All these teams are within touching distance of each other. They are not far away. All it takes is 4 eliminations, and I'm already there. I've already got a couple of points to put on the board. But then again, we're 2 games down. There's 2 games left to go. All the strategies need to start coming outside because there is no more time. All that is left now in total is I believe 6 matches to play. And in 6 matches, if you're not going to average I think 40 points by the end of this, you're in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. The teams need to step it up if they're going to look to qualify onto that next phase. All right, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back for some more action as we're going into our 3rd game of the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is the WAPL brought to you by 3 Crown Esports. It is still your main man Priest, and I'm here with Fire.
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
Fire, how you feeling after that performance? It was equal across the board. And I said what I said. If you want to qualify, you have to do big numbers. Just like Harsh Esports have already done. You have to do something just like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult for some teams. We did expect to see a lot of the teams who are sitting down the bottom, side of things like Disparaged, Active Gaming, Apex, sort of like, perform a lot better. But I guess it's just shaping up as the first 2 games. Everyone's probably just gingered to grab those early points before other guys just stabilize. I think that they probably know what's coming. I feel like now is probably going to be the time when some of those other teams like Disparaged and Apex step things up, and we might begin to see like some heavyweights of the game. But let's see how it goes. I do see a switch. This is about that time when you see the bottom guys, just switch things up and grab this point. So let's see.
We are going to be heading to Vikendi, and again, the Vikendi powers that be, tend to dictate how the game goes. But it still boils down to what the play zone is going to decide. After this playing path is done, we do have a south to north playing path directly cutting across the center there. So I believe every single team should be able to get into their landing positions without any much of a hassle. And I'm talking about western areas like Vihar, Dobromestro, even Milnar, and the eastern areas like Cement Factory, and all the way out there in Peshkova. And I think some teams are going to be remaining in that southern area, and I'm thinking, I think the guys from Extreme are going to be holding on that southern area, like Winery, stuff like that, areas like that. So they are very, 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 very capable, very, very possible, for them to maintain beauty, in those areas. But again, I have, what is this zone? Jesus Christ.
That is Vikendi for you. Every single time, Vikendi must betray you. Vikendi is always, making its move towards, very, very great positions. And you can see a lot of visual situated within that water, although there's a lot of buildings to work with. But I think, I like this. I like this. And the reason why I'll say I like this is because, if this doesn't happen in Vikendi, then somehow we get a situation where, teams just play on for a very long time. We might even get to a stage 10 or maybe a stage 15 because there's a lot of buildings. You get what I mean? So I'm not saying we get to stage 15, bro. Basically, there's a lot of buildings to work with. So sometimes you probably need half of it cut away by the water, and that makes for less land. But anyways, taking a look at this game so far, Priest, we already have the boys from 21 beginning on some action going down here against the boys from Harsh Esports.
Yeah, it is very, very quick, Fowlplay getting something very interesting working for them. Habitual Gaming on the receiving end of that one, but 21st Century equally, getting a couple of points for themselves so far. They've been actually quite consistent, up until the Sanok came, where they did get caught out in an unfortunate sandwich. But again, Harsh Esports again getting in serious trouble. The next one to be knocked down by 21st Century. Again, it is that dangerous position the guys from Harsh have put themselves in. I don't know if it is the first place curse, that comes through, but Amar is going to be the one to try to get that revive through, but I don't think that's going to happen. 21st Century already cooking them one after the other. He peeks in, just takes a little bit of a look there to see what is going to be a possibility for him. Should get that bison up, but Amar wants all the smoke surely now. There's no way for him to run. He's going to take the smoke, peeks inside, gets a couple of shots towards Baby there,
right.
but he's going to fall all the way back again. The Bison can only shoot so much. Grenade. Now the defensive play. DBS. Ooh, not going to connect. Again, he tries. He misses again. DBS failing Amar this time. And Harsh Esports go out very, very relatively quickly once again.
You know, we see this a lot of times when people are using the DBS. It almost feels like it's game over, but we forget the amount of skill and technique that it actually does take to connect those shots, because you can miss and, you know, that could be the end of it. You get taken out. We saw that right there with Amar as he did miss the shots. And, you know, it was bye-bye for him and back into the lobby. But they've gotten themselves some good points in this one. But this is what we talk about, right? You know, they're currently sitting down in a very great spot. But now they have been taken out, giving opportunity to the other teams in the lobby to be able to grab those points. And definitely they will be looking at the opportunity that they have right now. You can see the boys from Fowlplay who've currently gotten a kill to themselves, looking to see if they can take out the rest of the players right there for Habitual. They also have the boy PlayStation who's currently rotating around. If he can get himself just in behind the boys from Habitual, he can actually stop them from making any move to try and push onto his teammates.
You know, Fowlplay, getting a very, very good head start. One elimination. That's 1 point. You know, a couple of more points for them to go. And I did mention it earlier. You need at least 40 points, you know, to guarantee yourself a top 10 finish. You know, Habitual Gaming are on the better end of that spectrum, you know, against the guys from Fowlplay. Fowlplay have not been having the best time so far, you know, after that first engagement that they got. But, ooh, Death Fury is going to be spotted there. He's going to be cut down to about 1 HP. He needs to make the right choice. He still has that grenade in hand. Shand is a little bit towards the north of that compound, or rather of that building, though. He has to be very, very sharp, you know, to avoid Shah's bullets there. But I think the guy from Fowlplay can take this engagement. You know, this is their area. This is their landing position. You know, I think they should be able to squeeze the guys from Habitual Gaming for a couple of more points, you know, before they get boxed in. But, you know, their playstyle is, what lacks in Fowlplay's playstyle is their ability to make decisions very, very quickly, especially when it comes to, you know, engagements like this. Too much time wasting. But again, you know, is this push going to come through now? This is the opportunity for them to take this engagement. You know, Death Fury's been knocked down. And here comes Solo. Is he going to make the push?
Oh, Shad put it in the work right there. So he just got a knock onto one of the players right there from Fowlplay. But this is where PlayStation might be able to come in and provide the support that's very well needed to keep them at bay right here. And the boys from Fowlplay might be able to get the revive onto the player Solo. You can see them just being absolutely cautious in that one, and, you know, not extending too far as they try as much as possible to see if they can get that revive they want to, as much as possible, keep their full team very much intact. And that's exactly, you know, what Habitual is doing, as well as they do, you know, hold onto the squad. There's just something about Fowlplay, right? I mean, you did mention it, you know, sometimes they when, you know, even when they're on the front foot, they do somehow, you know, not make the necessary push on and just finish the team up. But now it does look like they are deciding, hey, you know what, it is time. Let's go for the juggler of this team, with Shark leading the pack right there. But I do fear that he's currently alone with the rest of his teammates, not providing him with the necessary support to push onto that location, and he might be in a situation where it's a 1v3.
He should be boxing the guys from Fowlplay in, you know, on the ground floor there. 419 is going to be using the DBS to the rescue down. Another player from Fowlplay goes down. Now Fowlplay is in trouble. 419 from behind gets another knock. Ooh, unfortunate scenario here again. PlayStation 5 is spotted. Habitual Gaming claim Fowlplay. Once again, I told you, Fire, they do not make their plans quick. They do not just act very quickly. They got that first knock, and again they started to backpedal. They started to second guess, and Habitual Gaming make them pay almost immediately. I've seen this play out so many times from Fowlplay. I mean, it was a clean 4 versus 3. They got in the first elimination. All they had to do, you know, and they even got a second one, but somehow Habitual Gaming was still able to keep them at bay. You had a 4-man team. All you had to do was box them in. All you had to do was box them in, make them confused as to where you're going to attack from, and send in one player that you can easily cover, you know, from at least two angles. You know, a player that you know that's capable of taking, you know, 1v1s and, you know, at least deal significant high number of damage. You know, that's what I was expecting. But they let Shad run circles around them on the ground floor. You know, they let Shad run circles, and that was the price. You know, they totally forgot about 419. Totally, absolutely forgot about him. And he, you know, he was the last one to play spoiler. Beautiful play from Habitual Gaming. Again, you know, Habitual Gaming were literally in one house, and all the Fowlplay players came in there, guns blazing with no plan.
Man, if I'm gonna say anything about Fowlplay, I'll just say bottling, because it's just it's not been down to the individual abilities, right? Because every time I see Fowlplay get into a fight with anybody, like when I mean anybody, I'm talking about the best or probably the toughest in the lobby, who obviously you would say is pretty much Apex, right? They get the upper hand in most of those fights, but it's just, I don't know what it is. Maybe they respect the opponents way too much. They're being a bit afraid. They are not confident in the abilities that they have, because you've gotten the 2 knocks, right? He's rigging, guys, rigging. They are rigging. That's the only explanation. This is some APC moves.
Not APC, fire. Why are you doing like this now? You know they cast with me up for industry. Don't be that guy. They don't expose us now. Why they do like that? But 21st century, you know, they're working extra hard. You know, they didn't, like I said, they didn't necessarily have the best of games in Sanok. You know, they did get squeezed out by I believe that was Most Wanted and First Arctics. And once again, First Arctics is here against the guys from Active. You know, Active finally getting themselves a significant number of eliminations. You know, Vikendi is where they thrive the hardest, so this is not a surprise to me. But Goth eSports, I think that is them pulling up to the scene, and they might just have been heard. Active Gaming not going to let this one rest for sure. You know,
Active Gaming, you know, taking on the shots onto the boys from Goth eSports, and I do believe right there, as you can see on the kill feed, they have taken down one of the players from the vehicle. And, you know, probably now they've sent him back into the lobby. But taking a look at this, it is the boys right there from Most Wanted getting into the mix, as they do send Sean back right there down. 2 of the players from Most Wanted were taken out by the boys from Active Gaming. Earlier on, we didn't see the boys from Disparaged also got sent back into the lobby by the boys from Active Gaming. So it's been a lot of skirmishes here and there, and several different teams are finding it quite difficult as they're making their rotations. And that's what you do expect from a Vikendi, right? You know, a lot of those teams already situated right there within the center. Now we see the boys from Extreme pulling in, you know, to get that final confirmation onto the boys right there from Most Wanted, as Leaders is currently bleeding down on ground. They've just got the 1 player, and it does look like he will be sent back packing right there in 13th spot.
What is wrong with Choco? What is he doing? Does he not know that that's the last player there? Well, Team Extreme, they did very well. You know, playing. They were very proactive in taking this engagement. You know, it was very lovely to see. You know, after one of their players they get knocked down there, and I think I saw Choco just pull up right on time. Now that is a team with a plan, and they executed it perfectly. You know, and they continue to maintain it all the way out there. But again, you know, Active Gaming, I think, you know, whoever is going to be holding those northern positions or those northern areas, you know, and I'm talking about Habitual Gaming, they might be in for a lot of fighting, because I think the play zone is going to shift away from the water, and 21st century, that place that they are right.
Oh, yes. Just like we said, usually within the zone, we see that it actually does shift away from the water quite a lot. But we'll take a look and see what that one actually does mean. The boys from Solo making the rotations around several different teams. They're heading towards that position where the boys from Gab Gaming are currently situated. You can see them just taking on some shots onto them, and they try as much as possible to evade those for now, as they do find themselves a building and a position to work with. So, I mean, it's Vikendi. It's definitely what you expect. You expect to see, you know, everyone finding a comfortable spot, and, you know, teams not really pushing each other. We're down to 12 teams right here in the lobby, as we still got about about 44 buddies so far. The boys from First Actics all the way in that southern region, as well as the boys from Apex all the way up in that northern region. We'll see how it continues to play out. One of the players right there from Active Gaming gets knocked down. I do believe he got knocked down from a distance by one of the players right there from Goth eSports. And it will be curious to see if they do decide to pull up onto this location, as the two of them have been in a little bit of skirmish from a distance, sending on the shots over and over again, with Hope looking to see if he can get a knock onto one of the players right there from Goth. But they will get the better of that little tussle between, I do believe it was Hape and Hope in that particular one. So we'll see how it goes. Priest, you back? It does look like Priest is having a little bit of technical difficulty, but he'll be back in a minute, as we're now beginning to see a fight going down between the boys from Apex and CLS. Apex and CLS, one of the players right there from CLS has currently been knocked down. They're trying as much as possible to make their way into that zone. As you can see, Starlight, he does get a knock onto Manny. The boy Manny currently dropped down right there, but Starlight gets knocked down, and right now they're in a situation where it is a 3v2, but the revive's coming in for the player right there from CLS, and we'll see how this one continues to build up between these two teams who are currently on ground. It's a 3v3, shots are being let loose. Manny goes down again, and it's a tough one for all of these guys. Kage also getting knocked down on the opposite end. It's pretty much looking like an even battle between the two, but now Stoner goes down, and it's down to just Falcon. And you can see right there, Falcon trying as much as possible to see if he can punish the boys right there from Apex, and make sure that he does try as much as possible to get that finish. Then pulls up Wizard into his vicinity, and he's trying as much as possible to see if he can battle things out with them. He does get one knock. He's looking for that confirmation. He turns his sight again onto the next one, and as Wizard is pushing up onto him, he's got 1 HP. Does he go for that finish? Ooh, boy, he was trying to I do think he was trying to get that finish onto the player Blessing right there. But Wizard holding on to dear life for his team, as he does keep Apex in this game.
Fantastic play coming in from Team Apex there. Wizard, as you said, was casting some ridiculous spells there, and he did a fantastic job of holding on just for the guys from Apex, against Cyclone Shield eSports. Now, this is one of those engagements, that forces a whole lot of these top teams to face themselves. They all have the same rotational pattern idea, and it tends to play off, especially in circles and zones like this one, And the guys from Cyclone Shield had the same idea. That they did do a fantastic job of holding out. But Team Apex were just wanted it a little bit more, and it paid off for them just in time.
Absolutely crazy stuff. Sometimes it's interesting to read onto the chart and listen to what some people are saying. So, guys, do remember to hit that like and hit that subscribe, okay? We need the likes to go up and get us more visible on YouTube, okay? So, as well as leaving those comments, guys, it also helps the channel to drop a comment, not just on the live chat, but to drop a comment. You can just go there and say, I love this tournament, okay? Just make sure you drop a comment and hit that like. It won't take you more than a second, so please do it. It helps the channel grow, and it helps us to continue to deliver. All right, so Priest, 11 teams right here still putting in the work. What is that team that you're looking forward to seeing in, that top 5 that you think is going to give us a really tough battle?
There's a lot, that goes into this game. Team Apex, I've seen them, they've been struggling so far as well, and I'm really rooting for them to see how they're going to be handling this one. 21st Century, equally another team. I mean, the brand new teams that they've added to the lobby, I think they're all trying to get their footing right, because most of actually not most, the rest of these teams, they've been playing. They've been playing since Monday. The rest of these teams, Well, I don't think there's any team, that got invited in that is still here. Is there any team that got invited in that is still here? I don't think so.
Sure.
I don't think so. The last 3 teams that got invited in, the Sidizens, Afro eSports, Citizens, Afro eSports, a couple of other teams as well. Who else got invited in? O3 as well. Disparaged is the only team, that got invited. Okay, no. I'm talking about Disparaged actually got invited today. Yeah, did they get invited today? Okay, no. No. And the Disparaged was in the lobby yesterday, so they are one of those teams that got invited that's still here. But the rest of the other teams that were invited alongside them have already made it into the finals. Afro eSports, the Sidizens, and O3 Brothers, those three have already made it in. And the rest of them, are still, struggling, trying to work it out. Wait, hold on. Did Afro eSports get invited in? I don't think so. No. Afro eSports didn't get invited in.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't get invited in.
I'm not too sure about who got invited in.
No, I think it was let's do a little bit of a roll call. I think it was O3 got invited in and they've gone into the finals. Citizens got invited in and they're already in the finals as well. That's two teams. I think it's just two of them. I think it is just those two teams, O3 and the Citizens. Yeah, the rest.
Not Invictus.
Invictus didn't get invited in, no. They played from the junior league and they didn't make it into the top 6 teams. So yeah, they didn't get invited in. The teams that got invited in are Disparaged, Team Apex, 21st Century, and Cyclone Shield eSports. All 4 teams are in this lobby right now, except for Cyclone Shield have been sent packing. But yes, those 4 teams are still, making a break for it now. You can see Wizard is looking into the compound there. He sees what he likes. He sees the guys from Men of Blood gearing to make their next rotation. That might just be, the last play they make. Team Apex, they are one of those teams that do not play compound. They do not play like this. Men of Blood, the way Men of Blood are playing right now, Apex is not the team that plays like this. Apex plays terrain. As you can see, they are not in a compound. They are playing around the edges. They're playing around the covers. Magic has to be careful. A Wizard has his sights on him, and that knock might just come right through, and they might just be in danger. Wizard is going to send a shot, and the knock is going to come through, and now Team Apex might just use this opportunity to squeeze the guys from Men of Blood. Men of Blood are not the strongest team when it comes to 4 versus 4s. We've seen them fail at that countable, an uncountable amount of times, and you can see Blessing Lee coming in from behind, and this might just be the opportunity for the guys from Team Apex to rid themselves of Men of Blood.
Man, absolutely. As you can see right there, the boys of Men of Blood only not getting pushed because, Blessed was not within the vicinity at that particular moment. So that did buy them some time. And it does look like they might be able to get that revive that is very well needed to keep their hopes alive in this particular game. We'll take a look and see how things continue to build as we are now moving into that 6th stage. Several different teams are now trying to find a spot to call their own. It's going to be really tough because, there is so many teams already within that center, within that central position. And we now see the boys from Active Gaming pulling up not too far away from 21st Century. We might see a skirmish going down between the two of them as they're within the same vicinity. But I see boys and Extreme Vawlence are now going toe-to-toe against each other, and it does look like Extreme Vawlence has gotten a couple of knocks with Your Might. Is Your Might the last player for his team? It does look like it is just Your Might who is currently just hanging there in those buildings, and he will be taken out right there as the boys from First Actors get eliminated.
First Actors getting called out there, unfortunately. Again, another one of those struggling teams. They've been struggling very, very hard, since the beginning of today's games, and unfortunately, they've not been able to catch a break or have that astounding performance just yet. There's a whole lot that's required, for them to do something interesting, for them to get those great points. But Team Extreme finally making it through there. Unfortunately for them, they did get extended outside as Choco is going to be eliminated and sent back. But the guys from Goth eSports are going to be playing a little bit of a terrain play deep inside of Dino Park, so they need to be careful because there's so many eyes on their position. Active Gaming, looking very, very comfortable here. 7 eliminations to them, and all they have to do is just keep peeking out and eliminating straggling players one after the other. Fantastic stuff though coming in from Active Gaming. You can see Team Extreme having the time of their lives as they lose yet another player. Josh, the next one to go down again. Team Extreme are in serious trouble. The grenade starting to come from the guys from Goth eSports. One grenade after the next. They continue to rain hell on the last player for Team Extreme. Another grenade from Ziggy there trying to connect. General is trying to get that revive on his falling comrade there, but the guys from Goth eSports have a whole lot of work coming in their general direction, and I'm talking about Active Gaming trying to make their rotation. They might just decide, you know, to take the engagement against guys from 21st Century. That might just be the defining moment for Active Gaming if they can make it through. There's so much to play for here. Goth eSports still surviving with just 3 players.
Man, that fight going down between Active Gaming and 21st Century is probably not the best for them, but they do get one of the knocks right there, and that may just be opening up things. You can now see Hope putting up onto this position where Roy is currently at, and he needs to take on this fight if he's going to look to win this one against the boys right there from 21. He does get into a good position on top of the roof, and this may just open things up right there for the boys right there for Active Gaming. He does get a knock. Such a great position. He comes to the ground and it looks like he's gonna get another knock. And Hope, baby, Hope. He is the hope for Active Gaming. He's pulling up this one. He's going in for the juggler of the boys right there for 21st Century as he pulls up to the building. He's standing scored wide for Hope. Absolutely amazing stuff.
Oh, 21st Century getting cooked. 21st Century getting cooked by Hope. Active Gaming with a beautiful play. I mean, the moment he hopped onto that roof and nobody saw him, I knew that was a wrap. That was a beautiful play coming in from Hope right there in a 1 versus 4. Beautiful finish coming in. I mean, he got the first, the second, the third, and he was able to wrap it up for the guy from Active Gaming. Now they're up to double digits. Now that is the performance Active Gaming have been looking for. It has fallen into their lap courtesy of Hope, giving Active Gaming that hope that we know for a fact. Again, Solo eSports now taking against the guys from Goth eSports. General, the next one to go down, but I know for a fact Solo are not going to let this one slide. They're going to confirm him surely. Mighty sent him back into the lobby, and now Solo eSports going to use that opportunity to move inside. Samurai is going to be claimed by the play zone, trying to get an angle there. You know, Mighty is going to be popping his vehicle just north of that position, and they are going to be hanging around this area. But again, Mighty has been spotted, but fortunately for him, he has a little bit of cover to work with, and now they've set their sights onto that northern position. No Rage eSports are still, you know, in that vicinity, but again, Mighty is going to be knocked down by the guys from Active Gaming. They're squeezing in one after the other. Hope has finally been spotted, and he might just go down if he's not careful, but the smoke's already coming out. Again, Active Gaming are in trouble, but once again, Hope is there to give them hope. That is what I love to see. Beautiful play coming from Active Gaming.
Man, absolutely amazing stuff going in on the game so far. Things are now beginning to get really aggressive. You can see right there the boys from Active Gaming getting the boys from Solo sent packing and back into the lobby, and this is where things now begin. This is where the story now begins to get told. You can see right there in the center as the boys rage coming up against several different teams who are currently surrounding them. The names being let loose, and you know, sometimes you don't want to be in that center. You don't want to be holding that position, but it's a building, and you can see that the boys from Rage are currently playing in a defensive mode, you know, just trying as much as possible to see if they can keep several different teams around them at bay. And you can see all the guys are currently just lurking around that region. We've still got about 8 teams so far within the lobby, and it's looking quite deadly. As you can see, knock going on after knock as Rooney right there on the kill feed does take out the boys from Goth eSports. And my goodness, what a time so far. So we're down to 7 teams, 20 bodies left in this particular lobby, and what a time for a whole lot of these guys. The zone's going to be pushing this week, hitting that stage 8, and several different teams have got to make the rotations into that zone. There's not a lot of it to work with, but we'll see what that one does end up looking like, as we do get another knock right there from Active Gaming onto the boys from MOB, and we'll see how this game goes. It's a really tight one, Chris. It's a very tight one for a lot of the guys who are currently situated outside the zone to find a spot for themselves. All right. right, as we turn our sights right now onto the boys from Vibe Gaming, who've now gotten another knock and a confirmation onto one of the players right there from Rage. As they teams. The man does take down Deji right there in that particular position. Several different teams are already getting hurt. You also see one of the players from Apex also rocking the ground, and it's pretty tough. It's a really tough one for a whole lot of these guys. The zone now beginning to make its push. Several different teams will be looking to find spots within that zone. MOB boys, who were being dealt a lot of shots coming into the zone, have still managed somehow to keep a three-man squad in this particular one. We still got about 7 teams right here within the lobby, and this is where the push now begins to get really dangerous. Apex getting that revive throw onto the boy Starlight right there, and this is where, you know, teams now begin to show their mantle. Somehow the boys from Active Gaming have been able to make their way into a good spot within that zone, as they've got some cover right there within the building, so you can see them trying as much as possible to take on the boys from Rage, as they do get a knock. Oh, it's actually the boys from Vibe Gaming who do get a knock onto the boys from Rage. So you can see all of these guys are vying in for what is a good portion of that zone, or a very tiny portion of that zone right there, as it is being held by the boys from Rage, and I do believe Vibe Gaming. All right, we're waiting for Priest to join us back in a second as we continue to take a look at how the map is currently building. Look at how tiny the zone is. We still got about 7 teams, and all of them are vying in for that little space. Apex is currently staying all the way towards that eastern region. You can see them sending on shots onto the boys right there from MOB. Rage is somehow still alive in this one, as they continue to get surrounded by several different teams. But the zone is going to be a huge deciding factor. Blessing goes down the lobby, and confirmation comes in right there from Rooney, as he just continues to put in the work. But we're still sitting down with 7 teams. It's still looking quite tough. It's still looking really hard for a lot of these guys. Apex gets sent backpacking into the lobby, as well as the boys from Active Gaming putting in the work right there onto MOB, as Skinny gets a knock and a finish onto the last player right there from MOB. Now they're beginning to make the push. Active Gaming, one of the players has currently gone down, but Skinny puts in the work. He gets another knock, and can they get that revive, because they do need the numbers to continue to push on. Active Gaming looking quite strong in this one, as they're pulling up into those final circles, but the boys from Extreme are sitting down with a one-man squad. They've also got several different teams around them who also got the numbers, but based on the numbers, if they can get their player back up, they will have the numbers advantage in this one, because it will only be Vibe Gaming with 2 players, and Active Gaming might be able to get the game that they've been looking for, that winner and that winner chicken dinner. They've got 16 kills to themselves. They're looking quite strong in this one when it comes to the number of eliminations that they've had, but Priest, things are still tough going into that final zone. All right. We tried to get Priest back. We're currently down to 3 teams. It's the boys right there from Vibe Gaming who have got themselves a position within those buildings. And you can see those nades being let loose right there onto the boys from Active Gaming. A nade pulling up onto that position where Hope is at. It does look like he does get another knock right there onto the boys from Active Gaming. And this is where Vibe Gaming is now beginning to make their push. And Active Gaming will get sent out, as they were caught off guard in the wrong position. They finished this game in 3rd place, getting 6 eliminations to themselves. So great stuff from them. They got 20 points on the board, but now it will be Habitual Gaming coming in at the right moment and grabbing home that winner chicken dinner.
Ooh, fantastic game coming in from the guys from Habitual Gaming, getting themselves that chicken dinner. Unfortunately, I missed most of the action there because my internet was just an up right now. Unfortunately, I've been battling with it this entire time. I don't know what's going on, but I think I've got it fixed this time around. So ladies and gentlemen, you saw a fantastic work of art coming in from the guys from Active Gaming, and they did get themselves that chicken. They did get themselves equivalently, you know, that chicken dinner. I would call that a chicken dinner surely, because they did have a fantastic double ticket performance, you know, and they did do a fantastic job of catapulting themselves just, you know, within reach of the guys from Harsh eSports, I believe. So yes, I'm big. So yes, I can see that fire is joyful right now because I mean that was a one hell of a performance coming from Active Gaming. So you do have to enjoy, fantastic stuff. But Vibe actually Bougie did equally fantastic. Claiming to be the MVP of this game. Vibe Gaming, another team that loves to adapt to the lobby, and I think they've been adapting very very well so far.
Yeah, absolutely amazing stuff from them. You could see that in that final moment, they got themselves some 3 extra eliminations, and it was powerful stuff for them as they got themselves into several good spots. But Habitual was able to scrape home those extra points. But definitely, when it comes to the number of eliminations on board, it was the boys right there from Active Gaming grabbing themselves home 16 eliminations, and I do believe that they got that. That means they got 20 points. Yeah, they got 20 points on this one. So I mean, if you're looking to qualify, like how many points do you think each team is going to need, Priest?
Yeah, probably like I say, average like 40. If you get like 40 points, you should be good. I mean, if you're going to focus on yourself, but Active Gaming and Vibe putting in double digits, across the board, but Active Gaming just doing significantly better, and unfortunately for the guys from Vibe Gaming, I think this is going to bode well for them in their race to qualify into the finals. All of these teams have been putting work every single corner, and again, where is Team Apex? That is the question I tend to always ask, when it comes to situations like this. Active Gaming leading by a significant margin, in this particular performance. And again, I've seen the guys from Active perform time and time again, in Vikendi, even from the junior league. That's why I said, Active Gaming is not one of those teams that relies on one player. I've seen Anes, the solo, survive into the second position. I've seen Skinny do the same. I've seen Hope do the same. So I am very, very impressed with the plays coming in from Active Gaming so far. You can see across the board, all of these teams did manage to put some points in all the way down, except the last 3. Their first Arctics Harsh, Soldiers, once again they bottled yet another game, and I'm not looking forward to seeing them do it again because there ain't no Royal Academy.
Yeah, absolutely. If they do want to continue to remain in a good spot, they need to start to put on those points. But we'll see what that means for the entire leaderboard. As you can see, going all the way from that last position right now onto that 4th spot is the boys from Active Gaming, and that's what the eliminations can give you if you do continue to show those performances. But sitting all the way in that top spot, as you can see, those eliminations has boosted them all the way up. Up is the boys from Vibe Gaming. The Hatch, as we spoke about them, are still somewhere lingering around as they are scoring 16 down in that 2nd spot. But Hatch and the Habitual do definitely need to now begin to step things up as different teams are now beginning to rack up those points, Priest.
Yeah, Harsh eSports, like I said, they are not Royal Academy. You do not want to play around right now. Habitual Gaming and Active Gaming pulling up to the scene as well. Men of Blood equally pulling up. Extreme Violence as well. All of these teams are now within reach, within touching distance, of each other. Team Apex finally climbing into the 9th spot, but then they are not safe just yet. Disparaged, Most Wanted, Goth eSports, No Rage, all of those teams are still within reach of Team Apex. I am very, very curious, to see if the guys from Apex are going to be, continuing to struggle with this so far. Again, it is the lobby is so tricky right now because everyone is putting their best foot forward, so nobody is getting very, very hectic right now. But it is very, very interesting though, all of these teams putting their strategies forward. It is the first day, and again, I'm still looking forward to seeing. There's one team that's still cooking something we're never done just yet, so I'm pretty sure that we're going to see one team do a banger, probably in the next game or probably tomorrow. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be going on our final break, and by the time we return, we are going to be in Miramar for the last game of today's matches.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, yes, yes. We are still here. It is the WAPL brought to you by 3 Crown eSports. And we are in the final game of day, I think this is day 5. I think, or day 6. Probably day 6. I think it's day 6 of the WAPL. Yeah, it's WAC. Yeah, it's day 6, day 6. So all of these teams have been battling it day in and day out to make it into the final stages, ladies and gentlemen. And we are going to be in the final game of the night. You know, 3 games done and dusted. This is the final game. And I'm still here with my main man, Fire, who saw the guys from Active Gaming get 16 eliminations in Vikendi, where they showed their most strength. Now, hopefully, they can do it again.
You know, one of the things you don't want to be doing as a caster is to be biased or to have favorites. But sometimes you can't really help it, as you do find yourself in situations where you get some unexpected plays from teams that you are secretly supporting, and you know, you see an amazing gameplay coming in from one of them, as we saw from Hope there, and it just throws you wild, and you cannot really explain it. And that was some amazing stuff right there, as he was able to take out the boys from 21st Century, who obviously be going back to talk about, you know, probably what was bad communication coming in from the player who was beneath him, not explaining to the rest of his teammates the position that Hope had at that moment in time. But it happens sometimes. These things, you know, are moments to go back and learn from and see, you know, where you can improve on, because communication is everything.
Yeah, you know, communication is surely everything. You have to plan, you know, to execute the plan. That is for sure. You know, if you're trying to get yourself into the finals right now. The leaderboard is very, very hectic, as we've seen. There's a whole lot that these teams need to be, you know, able to accomplish so far. But I'm very, 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 very proud, you know, of how far we've come, you know, competitively in the region. You know, big shout out to the guys from 3 Crown Esports again, giving us this sweet, you know, avenue for us, for Africa, West Africa, to showcase what it is made of. And I am so impressed, you know, so far. The guys from Fowlplay, you can see they're already doing what they do, getting the first elimination. And I don't know who's that. Is that PlayStation 5 on the roof?
All right, PlayStation 5 trying to possible to see if he can evade the start coming in from the boys from Rage right there, as he is, you know, he probably landed there definitely, and probably Top C is trying to look for him, but he obviously needs the support of his teammates to come in right here and try as much as possible to take on the guys pretty much alone right here. But we also see the boys from CLS getting into a little skirmish right there, as they do get one elimination, but it does look like, you know, it was pretty much an exchange with the boys from Most Wanted in that position. So little skirmishes here and there. The boys from Fowlplay, like we saw earlier on, getting into a fight. So PlayStation 5 has gotten knocked down, but his teammate is here. It's probably to the rescue. If his teammate can get another knock right there, he might just be able to save him in time.
You know, there's so much possibility here coming in from the guys from Fowlplay. PlayStation 5 unfortunately getting knocked there, but then, you know, Fowlplay have the advantage of the numbers, and I think they should be able to rescue PlayStation 5. Their IGL, you can see Solo driving in there, you know, guns blazing, and now Alpha is running for dear life. It's a 2 versus 1. He's cooking. He's going to be dropped down. No Rage Esports sent back into the lobby with the quickness.
All right, so the boys from Fowlplay definitely willing to get that revive onto the player who's currently up on the building stock. I'm not sure if he can jump down. If he jumps down from there, will he get eliminated?
You know, I wouldn't know what to say about that one, because there's so many factors, you know, that come into play when it comes to scenarios like that. But I'm not sure, you know, how I would be feeling. I will thought Cyclone Shield lost. They lost 1 player. Turns out they've lost 2, and I think it's still to the guys from Most Wanted. Most Wanted really has their number, you know, in this Miramar game. They've been chasing them up and about, and I think they did get a trade, you know, earlier on, but I think the guys from Most Wanted should be back as a 3-man team right now. Wandofi is down to about 10 HP and clocking something interesting, though, in that northern position.
This is the same Mzansi Most Wanted, if I am correct, right?
I don't think so. I think this is an Angolan team, an Angolan most wanted. I don't know if they are currently in the Mzansi for 2023, but I've seen them before, but I'm not sure it's them. I don't know. I don't think so. These are brand new names, I've not seen them in the Mzansi at all. I don't think I've seen any of those names in the Mzansi before, but
Okay,
they've been
I may
impressive.
be wrong. I may be wrong. If someone out there does know, you can type in the chat and let us know. But yes, they have been impressive. They've been putting up, fights here and there, and we will continue to see if they can qualify all the way into that finals. But now coming up against the boys from CLS, who are now a two-man squad. The Stoner Amane, very capable players coming up against what I do believe is three players for the boys from Most Wanted. Lilies has an angle up against Money, and he might just be the one who could put in that surprise onto Money and get that elimination. So Money's got to be really careful. I'm not sure if he's aware of the position of Lilies, but that may just be, what causes the damage right there and the elimination to the boys from CLS on this map.
There's a whole lot that comes into, the play style and the play patterns for most of these teams. Is very, very, it falls onto a whole lot of planning and categorical, setup. The guys from Cyclone Shield, I'm not sure what their plan is going to be here because, Most Wanted are still lurking around. In that position. And again, numbers advantage going to the guys from Most Wanted. They've got three players in, and they've got vehicles, they've got access, they've got terrain. So all they have to do is just snuff out the last two players from Cyclone Shield. I'm pretty sure they know that they're somewhere around. But Wandofi is alone. There's a chance that he might just run into someone or something he doesn't like, and he might just pay the price sooner rather than later. Most Wanted are one of those teams that have been fairly consistent, getting a couple of points here and there. So there's a lot that goes into their style of play, because I've seen them do good numbers, but I don't know. I don't know if this particular stage or this particular setup is going to be required. If they're going to be, if the play style that they already have is going to be doing the trick here. Fatboy is going to be spotted there, M762 in hand by Manny, but it doesn't connect. Now they know of his position, but Lilies is going to be spotted, and that's a 2 versus 2. Fatboy is going to be using his vehicle as a little bit of a shield there. So he might just pop the Molotov cocktail towards that general direction. He has to be careful and move out of dodge in that position. And the Molotov is just to be shy of that position. He blows the vehicle up in front of him. And now Manny is going to take the 1v1. Stoner is coming from behind. Cyclone Shield, they want all the smoke this time around. Grenade comes out from Fatboy, but Stoner is from behind. Catches him off guard, and that's going to be the end for Fatboy. And again, the guys from Most Wanted getting spotted out there. Cyclone Shield, vengeance.
Yeah, absolutely. Great work coming in from Stoner and Manny in that one. Stoner put it in the work right there as he first of all does take out Lilies, then comes in with that backup from behind and takes out another player right there for Most Wanted. So Most Wanted, who we're currently sitting down in that fight with a three-man squad, have now been reduced to that very last guy, and all of them now got to decide what to do in this particular lobby, as they will be thinking about making the way all the way into that zone. Taking a look at the zone right now, we do have several different teams already within as we're moving towards that next play zone. We do see the boys from Solo Esports in that central position, as well as Fowlplay, who are not too far away from the boys from Active Gaming, and they currently have the zone, so they'll be looking to see if they can get into a fight not too far away from each other. We'll keep an eye on that one and see how we continue to build us. The boys from Fowlplay, remember, got a couple of eliminations quite early on, and now turning the sights onto the boys from Active Gaming. So they're pretty much just looking for that entry knock. You can see Solo just scouting around this region, just taking a look at the Nez and the rest of the players, and looking to see if he can get one knock or two. The rest of his players are all just get up, like a tiger just stalking prey and just waiting for that chance to just pounce.
It's all about waiting for the chance to enter there. But Fowlplay getting the first knock, I don't see this I don't think this turning out well for them. If they try to take this engagement against the guys from Active Gaming, I don't see this being successful. Look at Solo. He's wasting so much time there to move his vehicle. You see, the moment he moves, he's spotted almost immediately. And he is going to improve his position a little bit slightly there. But Active Gaming already on the offensive. They're already charging the grenade. The first one is going to come right through, and it might just catch him off guard. And Ness is down to that position again. He is going to be dropped down by Solo. Is going to be dropped down by Ness. Beautiful play from Active Gaming, defensive on all fronts again. Skinny is going to try his best to rotate from the right hand side, but beautiful play coming in as well from the guys from Active and Fowlplay. They're doing a fantastic job of keeping each other at bay. The knocks just starting to swing out. The confirmation is not going to be happening just yet. Active Gaming back to full strength, back to 4 players, and now grenade after grenade. The next one from Manes, the next one from Hope. A beautiful grenade from Shy, and he might just connect to a nest there, and he's just going to do the trick. Gets the first knock, and he might just get the second. Fowlplay wreaking havoc, and another one from Shy. Shy for the MVP. Active Gaming getting a taste of their own medicine. It might just be a 1 versus 4, but no, not this time around. But Fowlplay, the opportunity for them to clinch the win, and then now sending a couple of shots to a Surge Deep, but he is going to cut the confirmation onto Shy there, and it gets PlayStation 5 down as well. Active Gaming trying their best to deal damage, but again, Fowlplay are going to rain hell on them. I don't know how, but that is the disadvantage of Fowlplay style of taking engagements. They think too much. Somehow they lost 2 players.
I did feel like it was great work coming in from Sarge in that moment, but Fowlplay was a bit more aggressive in this particular fight. They were a bit more decisive on making that push, because as we do know, sometimes they don't hit on the team when they're on the front foot. But coming up against Active Gaming this time around, they went for that juggler, and you can see Shy got himself 3 knocks, an absolutely outstanding moment for him. But now turning sides, it does look like they pretty much have gotten third-partied by the boys from Vibe Gaming, as Vibe Gaming is getting them some extra knocks, and they're down to the last player is just Lone Wolf, who is left to defend the boys from Fowlplay, just as they got some eliminations to themselves. 7 eliminations in this particular one. Right now they are currently on the back foot. You can see Lone Wolf is on the run, trying as much as possible to create some distance between him and the boys from Vibe Gaming to keep their hopes alive in this game.
Well, if I were him, I'd get as far away as possible, find a little bit of a shack and hide in there. I would have even gotten into a vehicle, to run, but he is making the right call. He is moving all the way up towards the north, a little bit of this area right here, and now there's only 1 entry and 1 exit position. Chucks a grenade down there, but the guys from Vibe are chasing him one after the other. He pops a grenade all the way down there, but Lone Wolf has to be careful. Yeah, there's a little bit of an angle for him to work with here. The guys from Vibe are in danger.
Yeah, Vibe pulling up onto this particular position. He tried to get unlocked with that DBS, but he could not connect. They found him now. They know his position. He jumps down from the building. He's now been able to separate himself a little bit as he comes up against Kenny. Can he get the knock? Yes, he absolutely does. Goes for that extra confirmation. He does get his team that extra point right there and reduces the numbers for the boys from Vibe Gaming all the way down to a 3-man squad. He tries as much as possible to fight it on, but he managed to get that extra elimination. So good stuff for him, as opposed from Fowlplay do get sent back into the lobby right there. Amazing stuff. As we continue to see how the zone continues to build up, you can see it moving towards that position just in between Los Lones and Impala right there. So many different teams are choked up within that center, and this is where Mirama now begins to get dangerous, as the teams who are currently situated within the zone do have the upper hand to continue to build up right there. So, all right, who do you guys think is going to be grabbing home this winner chicken dinner? I don't know about you, Priest, but it's looking really tough.
It is going to be looking very tough. There's a whole lot of bodies inside of Los Leones right now. I mean, there's so many teams, clustered up down south of that area. Team Apex still playing in from the north. That is their favorite position to play from. But again, they need so many more numbers to work with. Team Extreme finally getting the brunt of it being sent to them by the guys from Men of Blood. Men of Blood have already claimed 1 chicken dinner today. Hopefully they can go for another. But again, Magic is going to confirm Ronnie there and send it back into the lobby, and 11 is going to do the same, towards Josh right there. Beautiful play coming from Men of Blood. They are very, very good when it comes to, playing terrain against another team. But when it comes to compound defense, that's usually where they fall a little bit behind in a 4 versus 4. But right now they are easy pickings for them as they, catch a couple of bodies from the guys from Team Extreme. I believe that is Shoko just trying to escape from that position. You can see Disparaged just pulling up north, holding the high ground of that area. Rage has to be careful though. The more he rides around, the more he might just be exposed into some ops right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking about him being exposed to ops, you can see that he is trying as much as possible to be careful, get himself into a good spot to make sure that he's covered, his vehicle is not getting blown, while the boys from Disparaged are just hanging and lurking around. It's being an absolutely great scout to inform his team of that position to come in, but they got to be careful. Magic is also within the line of sight of the boys from MOB. We can see several different confirmations getting sent down to the boys from Goth eSports right there as they do get taken down right there. Vibe Gaming is also in the mix. I do believe that as the play zone taking them out. Finally, we're already also seeing a fight coming on between the boys from Apex right there as they do get some confirmations onto the boys from Habitual, as Habitual and Apex are just going toe-to-toe against each other. And Apex have not had quite the game that they had in Junior League. Priest, things, it just seemed like they were running through the entire lobby when it came to the Junior League, but so far right here in the Senior League, it's been difficult for them.
Brand new set of teams. The way the lobby has been set up, it is very, very difficult, to thrive if you're to run away with it, or as you would say, Team Apex have been struggling today. But I think it's all part of the strategy. They're picking up on the lobby, they're learning. By the time they go back home today, maybe there's going to be a couple of VOD reviews coming through again, and they will learn about this lobby and how to defeat the ops inside of it. But again, they've been doing a fantastic job so far, garnering eliminations as they move. I don't think there's any game so far that they didn't get a couple of eliminations just before heading out of the lobby. So they have an idea of what they're trying to do. Men of Blood equally doing a fantastic job so far. They've been holding out these positions for the longest of time. But I talk about Disparaged, pulling up north of that position. They do have eyes on the guys from Men of Blood, but so does Men of Blood as well. But the disadvantage that they have right now is the numbers advantage. You've got 3 players, and they do not have a lot of terrain to play with, at least for the time being. But Disparaged, unfortunately, they do not have the zone either, fire. And again, we know for a fact that there's a whole lot of point discrepancies, between all of these teams, and the violence that they are trying to send, towards each other has to count for something. If you're getting eliminations, you have to see it through to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they're trying to do, to make sure that they do grab those extra points so they continue to boost themselves up on that leaderboard. CLS also one of those teams who continues to get those extra points. As you can see them currently sitting down with a 4-man squad, but they've lost a couple of numbers, and that definitely will be affecting them as they continue to move on to, this final stages of the zone. As we're currently sitting down in phase 4, moving all the way into that phase 5 spot. Disparaged coming into this game, they had basically little or no points so far. They were one of those teams who I do believe they were invited, so they had performed quite great, but coming into the lobby so far, it does look like they're just meeting teams who are just riled up and ready for action, and somehow they found it quite difficult to settle into the lobby. 21st Century getting taken out right there in 10th place, and it is tough for a lot of guys, but maybe the numbers for Disparaged may count something for them in this one.
The numbers game for Disparaged, it might just be working very, very soon. I do know for a fact that Disparage's rotation ability is very, very consequential, at least up by 90 to 95%. When it comes to making it into the final circle, rotation wise, they are very, very strong when it comes to that, putting themselves in very, very good positions. Now you can see them, circling around the guys from Men of Blood. They've been holding that position for the longest, but the play zone has has shifted a little bit south away from them, so they might just decide now it's the time to either rid themselves of the guys from Men of Blood and clear a path for themselves inside of the play zone, or just skip over them and get into the play zone and then gatekeep them from in front. So there's so many ways to play this. Team Apex have already found their way, from the north. They've been playing from the north, so they've been very, very capable of holding the play zone, at least for the time being. But team Disparaged actually made a different choice here. I think they are going to be making the rotations around and trying to squeeze out the guys from Men of Blood, but they might just be opening themselves equally, for some danger. You can see Cyclone Shield, eSports, just north of that position. Manny, he is going to hop into his Bronco there just to get some intel onto the rest of these teams. And again, he does have a beautiful angle there. Might just be something that will cause trouble for the guys from Men of Blood if they are not going to get out of dodge right now.
Boys from Men of Blood taking on shots onto several different teams. They've got to rotate into the zone like you mentioned early on, but now take a look at that. Cyclone Shield getting eliminated. They got themselves 5 kills in this game though, so some points on the board. But here comes Men of Blood trying as much as possible to find themselves into a great spot within that zone. They've got several different teams around them. They've got to be careful because the boys right there, or they do believe the last player for Most Wanted is currently lurking around, and he may be able to cause some trouble for them. He may just find one or two scapegoats and turn things around. It does look like Magic has heard him, so he might be pulling up onto that position where he currently has. Wandorf looking for that one scapegoat that he could take out to get those extra points for his team. But now that he's been spotted by the boys from Men of Blood, it may spell the end for him in this game.
Yeah, you can see he might just get caught out there. 11 participating in today's or in this game's version of some backbreaking activity. 4 eliminations, coming in there, from him. He has been doing a fantastic job for the guys from Men of Blood. But now on Team Apex finally getting a whiff of Disparaged and sending them back into the lobby. Unfortunately, they go out there with no eliminations. I believe just one. And they've been keeping their eye on the guys from Solo Esports for a while now. But again, the play zone is going to be heavily, guarded by most of those teams that are already inside. And I'm talking about Solo Esports. They've been very, very comfortable, playing from that southern area. They've been holding that position for a while now, so I think they have an idea on where the rest of those teams are going. But 11 might just decide to take the 1v1 against Wandofi there for Most Wanted. But again, beautiful touching coming from Magic there, drops in diags all the way across, and that might just spell curtains for the guys from Solo Esports. But they do have play zone and they do have a terrain to work, to work in their good, so they might just be able to hold them off a little bit longer.
The spot that the boys from Solo Esport have currently got may work for them if they can continue to hold it for as long as the rest of the teams find themselves outside that zone. We'll see how that one continues to favor them. This nade coming in from Bougie doesn't quite hit right, as it doesn't get into the position right there where Rage is currently at. The second time coming in, though, he does get that knock, and he might be able to get the confirmation because the rest of the teammates right there for MOB are currently at a distance. We do see another team, the boys from Extreme Vawlence, being sent back into the lobby right here in this particular one. Vibe Gaming with one player looking to take out the boys from MOB.
Ooh, Bougie, Mr. Bombastic, as he uses that grenade to deal damage towards the guys from Men of Blood. He catches yet another one. He steals, reaps where he doesn't sow. It is him versus 11. Has to be careful though. 11 might just be the nail in his coffin. You can see the smokes already coming out. 11 is trying to find an angle inside to work with, and a couple of shots being sent his way by Bougie there, and the smokes might just start to ring out again. 11 trying his absolute best, but he just cannot outrun those bullets. But the cover fire from 11 is a fantastic one, and again a couple of shots being sent his way, but Bougie is going to have the last laugh. Vibe again somehow making it into the top 3, but Team Apex not hearing any story. They send another grenade, and there goes Vibe. Now it's a 3 versus 3, Apex versus Solo. This is what you call a photo finish, because these two teams have been working overtime so far, but the top half of the zone is in the top half of the map is in the zone, and the bottom half is on the bottom of the bottom side. You got the guys from Solo Esports holding the top half, and Apex on the ground level. Now it's all about where the play zone decides to move. If it moves towards Apex, Solo are in trouble, but if it moves towards Solo, Apex are equally in trouble. It's anyone's game at this point. The play zone is going to decide in a couple of seconds who is going to win this game. It is not even a matter of what can you do. It is just a matter of what the play zone decides right now, unless the guys from Team Solo are going to be bottling this one against Apex. But there's so much, oh my days, look at that, centered up just in the middle of both of them.
I still believe that there may be an angle up on the mountain that the boys from Solo currently have that may work for them just at this point where Samurai is at. We'll see how it goes as the circle continues to get closer and closer. But them pushing onto the boys from Apex quite right now will probably be the decision, as I do believe they do have a vehicle up right there, but they do have to get one of those knocks, and you can see Samurai is searching for it as much as he can, but the boys right there from Apex are currently just watching and eating and waiting for anyone to just peek for them to send them down, rocking the ground. So will it be Blessing, Kage, or Wizard that would open up this game either by getting knocked or getting a knock onto one of the boys from Solo on the other end? It's Solo's move. It's their loss to make. It's right down to the action that they take.
Ooh, there's so much to calculate. There's so much to do here. And Wizard makes the mistake of peeking his shoulder just outside for a little bit too long. And Samurai makes him pay almost immediately. But the revive from Kage might just be doing the trick for him. But now Diags used that opportunity of the knock to find a beautiful position. And now Solo have made the right call. Now they have a 1-2 split. 2 people on top and 1 person in front. This is the position they need to be in. But Blessing starts to charge the grenade. And what is that? Is that an MK14? Yes, it is an MK14. Blessing's been spotted. Shot sent his way. All the way up from the top there. Samurai putting the pressure onto the guys from Team Apex. Apex have to be very, very strong, have to be careful. But the bullets continue to ring outside. Mighty's been spotted by Wizard, and he is going to go down. But I don't know. The play zone is starting to cook, and Blessing is in serious trouble. Grenade from Indiags might just connect, and a beautiful grenade stunted over the top. And he's going to be spotted from the right-hand side. Team Apex steal the game.
Wow, what was looking like it was going to be a game to the boys from
Solo.
Oh
my days! No way. No way. Nah, this is no. I don't believe Solo sold that game, man. Jesus. Wow. Apex supremacy, you have to love it. Beautiful play coming in from. I did not even see what was going on the right hand side there. Insane plays coming from Team Apex. I mean, the play zone was just behind, squeezing them out one after the other. And next thing you know, this guy, he just makes a very predictable play behind the airdrop there, and I thought the utilities were going to start coming out the moment he crashed into that airdrop, but again he decided to wait, take his time, and then and it was just unfortunate because but Team Apex, now that was so quick. After the knock came through, I really thought it was wraps. After I played the split, 2 people on top, 1 person down. I mean, I thought that was the end. I thought that was wraps. Anyone that peeks outside to get a knock onto Mighty there, Samurai was going to deal damage towards that person. But it was a balanced 3 versus 3. There was no numbers advantage, but Team Apex were just absolutely better. They were just better, man. That's what I would say. They were better.
Yeah, absolutely. They held their position quite well. Going up against the boys from Solo, they were able to get the revives onto their players just before Solo made that push. And you can see on the overall rankings what that does mean for a lot of these teams. It's pretty close going into tomorrow's game. Team Apex now being able to boost themselves all the way into that 2nd spot. But it's going to be tough because the numbers are quite close for all of these guys. All the way into that 10th position, things could change. Everyone is racking points as much as they can. But look at the teams who are currently on the below end. It is the boys from Most Wanted, Goth, Esport, Disparaged, Rage, and Fowlplay who are looking really risky right now. The rest of the teams are looking like they can run away with it. But it's all down to tomorrow to see who finally gets to go to the finals.
Yeah, you need to keep an eye on that bubble spot, all the way from extreme violence down to Cyclone Shield eSports. It could go either way, the top 10 teams so far, all the way down to Cyclone. doing so a fantastic job so far of holding out their position. You can see though, Cyclone Shield is going to give a little bit of a gap there between themselves and the Most Wanted. It is the top 10 teams, so Cyclone Shield, 21st Century Active Gaming, and Habitual Gaming, all of these teams, they have a lot of work to do. But I think they've started to cut out their work for themselves, ending today on a very, very good note. The point difference between them, between Cyclone Shield and Most Wanted, is a little bit significant there. It is not, they are still within reach, but it's still, equally significant there. So it's a matter of if they are going to be keeping that energy going into tomorrow's games. But ladies and gentlemen, it is the WAPL, and that shows you guys that the violence is left, right, and center. There is no rest for the wicked. As you can see, anybody can collect, but Team Apex finishing the day very, very strong, as we knew they could. And now tomorrow, we look forward to seeing who are those top 10 teams that will be making it into the WAPL Grand Finale. It is your boy Priest and my main man, Fire. See you guys tomorrow. We're signing out.